us on community updates and enlightened hearts. Our host Michelle Turner is not able to be with us today, and say a prayer for her because she's not feeling well, and hopefully she's listening in, and if she's up to it, maybe she'll call in. As you know, Michelle brings our community updates, and I received a call about an hour or text before I got here, but please go to her Facebook page. She posts most of her community updates there, and you can learn more about what's going on in the community. Today we have a special guest with us. Her name is Marsha Green, and Marsha is a part of a chapter, I should say ABWA. It's called Novi Oaks ABWA Charter Chapter, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And I know that. I don't know, it's just drawing a blank right now. I'm also a member of this chapter. And Marsha, I know we are about to go through the election, but right now you're still president. Would that be correct?
Yes, the election is in May.
In May, yes. So she's still our president right now. Also, I want to just share with you before we start talking with Marsha and about ABWA. And again, we welcome all our guests that are listening, everyone that's listening that joined us, and we really appreciate that. I just want you to know this is our station ID 313-355-6018. You are watching Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. So we appreciate you joining us, as I have stated, and you know, without you, there would be no WJZZ or community updates. And what I wanted to do today, because we are winding down, actually this is Women's History Month. Mm-hmm. So we're winding down. Today is March 27th, and this is our last Wednesday to really celebrate women all over the world, in various countries and nationalities, who have contributed and those who are unsung. And Marsha, I just wanted you to share briefly someone who you have felt led and touched by when you think of a woman.
Well, I guess the number one would be my mom, but some people know that my Aunt Betty Archer Johnson, she founded our chapter, our Novi Oaks Charter Chapter of ABWA. She was a World War II veteran in the Navy.
Wow, okay.
Yes, and she was a manager at Michigan Bell back when women were not managers. And later in her life, when she was 78 years old, she started working with computers. And
at 78?
At 78, yes. She was something. She was a force to be reckoned with. And she also was a representative for the Women's Memorial at Arlington Cemetery. So she went around and recruited veterans to get their information submitted to the Women's Memorial. So if there are any female veterans out there, you can contact them at Arlington and get your information put on the database. And she
Wow.
she would be happy if I told veterans about that. Get that checked out. And the other thing was, she was also on the board for the National Great Lakes Cemetery up in Holly, and I helped her edit the bylaws for that cemetery.
Is that right?
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
She started that when she was in her 80s, I think. So she was really an inspiration to me. She was born in 1921 and was always ahead of her time, and she passed in 2017 rather suddenly, but the week and a half before she passed, we had been to an ABWA meeting.
Wow.
So, yeah,
okay.
she's very inspirational to me.
That's awesome.
And of course, she introduced me to ABWA, which has, been life-changing for me. I've been a member 33 years as of St. Patrick's Day.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Well, thank you. And I still, to this day, I just love the American Business Women's Association. I've met women all over this country. We even have women who come to the national conferences all the way from Hawaii. And I have friends all over the country, and so much support. If you are working on something that you would like to accomplish, you want to check out the American Business Women's Association, because you will not find more support in any other location. It is wonderful.
Yes.
Now, Regina, you attended our national conference this last week, and what did you think about that?
I thought it was pretty powerful. I really did. I enjoyed it. I thought the women were superb in their deliveries and their information. It was very inspiring. And it was my first one.
Yes.
And so I was. And I'm looking forward to September, because I believe I'm going to try to attend that one as well.
Excellent.
I don't get an opportunity, as you know, because I'm here during our meetings, but I've tried to stay involved and make sure, because I remember I was thinking about the first time I spoke before I became a member. I was able to speak, and ABWA stands for American Business Women's Association. And for those who don't know, I know we know what the abbreviations stand for, and we used to say it, but I started thinking people may not know what we're talking about. Yes. And what happened, I was putting myself out there as a speaker, and I went online and I saw American Business Women's Association. I said, in Novi, because it was still in Novi at that time too. And I said, you know what, let me call. And I called you.
Yes.
And that's how Marcia and I became friends. And I think, Marcia, I've been a member for 4 years now.
I think you have been. Yes.
So time just really flies.
Yes.
And Marcia and I sat down and we had breakfast, actually. We had a breakfast and we found kindred spirits. And if I don't keep in touch with nobody else, I keep in touch with Marcia, and she updates me on what's going on with ABWA. And I totally agree. It is a community where you can build friendship and kinship as well, and the support that you need. So whenever I speak, sometimes I have taken off a Wednesday here to go and speak. It's something that I want to make sure that I'm really giving to the community, but I'm giving to ABWA. And we have wonderful conversations. This last one I did was on empathy.
Yes.
We had a great training. And this past week, Monica Morgan, for those who know Monica Morgan, she's a international photographer and speaker. She was one of the speakers for our national conference. It was great. She did a wonderful job, and Marcia was the one that recommended her. So just looking at women, that was the first time that she spoke. She came to hear me, and then she was able to speak at our national convention. And what else did I want to say? So she enjoyed herself, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, she had a great time, and she felt like the women were so warm and supportive. And that's another thing, getting that warmth and support. Also, there's much diversity as well. A lot of diversity within ABWA. And I have to admit, Marcia, I was a little surprised.
Really?
I was.
Yeah.
I really was. Because I had never heard of the organization, and to be totally transparent, I was like, what is that, all white women? But it's not.
It's not. It's not at all.
It is not at all. So it was a bad assumption on my part. Which leads me, if you don't mind, I'm just going to take a detour before we start getting into the American Business Women's Association. I wanted to share today about my topic, which is I do what we call Wednesday Enlightenment.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and so the Wednesday Enlightenment topic today is the pitfalls of mind reading and making assumptions. Isn't that something? So I do want you to know that when you think about assumption making or mind reading, oftentimes we think we're right, and a lot of times what we do is we assume that we're right, and we move from those thoughts and feelings that we may have about a situation or that we may have about a person. As a matter of fact, I was reading an article, and it stated that you get sized up within 3 seconds.
Yes.
Yes. You want to comment on
I
that?
was going to say, unfortunately, yes, and people just take a look. When you approach any person, you do not know what treasures lie beneath, and if you judge or you assume they're judging you, you're losing out on an opportunity.
That is so true. You are
Yeah.
losing out on an opportunity. So when you think about sizing up someone in 3 seconds, right? I mean, you just have sized them up and you have decided whether or not they're worthwhile or not. And I'm sure I've done it myself, just made some judgments or assumptions. And what came home for me, I was reading also in the Bible, and it was talking about a rich man versus a poor man. And what it says that basically it is evil for us to open up the doors wide for a rich man and offer him the best seat in the house, and then we give no attention to the poor man. And basically it went on to say, don't you know that God has set up the kingdom for the poor? And I thought that was really powerful, and that's a paraphrase, but that's in James 1. And I said, you know what? That's really true, because we make assumptions about rich people, about poor people, and we make assumptions even about cultures. We make so many assumptions. We make assumptions about men and women. They're out there. So go ahead. Did you want to?
I was going to say, in my experience too, about old people with,
Yes.
with gray hair, you assume that somehow they're like, as Massey said in the Massey tapes years ago, they're in the checkout group. When truthfully, like I just said, Betty Johnson, she didn't start using a computer till she was 78, and she was pretty good at it. She worked at it. You cannot judge people ahead of time. You can, especially not on, like they always say, it's an old saying, but you can't judge a book by its cover.
You really cannot.
No.
And you know something? I was watching American Idols. And so this is truth. I'm not trying to talk about the young lady, but she looked really dumpy. I mean, she really did. Frumpy. That's a better word, frumpy. And she looked unkempt. And I was thinking in my mind, I wonder, are the judges going to think that she can't sing based on the way she looked? And the song that she said she wanted to sing was a song sung by Aretha Franklin. So they all looked at one another. They thought that was a bold stance for her to say that she wanted to sing one of Aretha Franklin songs. And they went as far as to tell her, basically, after it was all over, they basically said, there's just certain songs you don't touch.
They're out of bounds.
Yeah. And that's really how they felt. But when she opened up her mouth, she had them, when she was done, in a standing ovation. It was really powerful. Even me, I was clapping. I mean, it was really powerful, and I couldn't understand. If this thing was accept me the way I am, and just hear my voice, well, she accomplished that, because they end up giving her a platinum ticket, and they only give out 3.
Oh wow!
And so these assumptions about how she looked versus what was going to come out vocally was wrong.
Yeah.
And whether or not she can handle the Aretha Franklin song. Matter of fact, they said that she went places that they didn't even think that song would go. So it was pretty powerful. So when we make assumptions and size up people, we are losing out.
We are.
And not only are we losing out, but we are allowing our thoughts and our opinions and our judgments to lead us, and they're leading us in the wrong direction. How about that?
And you think it's true, but you don't realize you're missing the boat.
That's it. Because I had someone to say to me today, which wasn't true about me. They said, and actually it was some truth to it, but they said they only put me in the box of being analytical. But they said, I'm the creative one, and they are. but I'm also creative. And I didn't say anything. I just chuckled because it was nothing to say. I just figured you'll see my creativity because it's true. I am analytical. So I didn't want to refute that. But also, there's so much creativity in me, as well. But I think you can assume that a person who's analytical probably is not creative.
Yeah, which is kind of like pretty accurate most of the time.
Yeah.
But like you say, you cannot judge. You cannot judge.
You cannot judge. And I think the creativity comes just even from how it really, I believe, from my dad and my mom, because my dad in particular, he was so creative. And he would like throw dishes together, just throw it. And we would just sit and all like, what is he gonna make today? Just throwing the dishes together. And I can do that. I would just throw something together. Now I believe that my sister and my brother, they're a little bit more creative. But as far as a visionary and thinking through things, man, I can create it in my mind and I can give it to you.
Well, I want to tell you right now, Regina, that you are one person I have to say I admire the most in this world, because you have a vision of what you want to do and you do it. You make it happen.
Well, thank you, Marsha.
Yeah, it's very, since the moment I met you. Because I thought, you just picked up the phone and called me and said, I would like to speak for your group. And I'm like, I think I like that just to begin with, that you reached out to me, and who knew that, what a treasure that was, what a gift.
Yes, and ABWA has been a gift. Yeah, so I want to read your bio because we have, but I just wanted to leave us with those words. And so making assumptions really doesn't help. Mind reading, we do not have the ability to mind read. And let me give one more example of that, which used to get me caught up a lot. Driving our cars. We may think people are doing things to us, speeding up, trying to pass us, or, trying to come closer to us, and they being rude. And I have seen people give me the finger. And sometimes even chase me. This was years ago. Yes, got that angry. I remember one woman got so angry. I have no idea what was going on with her that morning, but she got so angry about something. I don't even know what I did to this day. But all I know that she made an assumption, and she was mind reading, and it was an ugly experience. And I fell back because in my mind, on the road, all this road rage, it's not worth dying.
No.
And I don't have time. So I fell back. I was like, you know what? You can have the road. I don't care. But I have seen people put up the finger, do all type of stuff. And I used to, even before I was healed, I used to think people were doing things on the road. Let me just share with you. People have so much on their mind, they're not thinking about you on the road. And they may have drifted off somewhere and may have cut you off, didn't intend to cut you off, may have gotten too close to your car, distracted. Unfortunately, we have a lot more distractions on the road right now. And I just want to share that you could be and probably are making wrong assumptions. So let me encourage you today that you're not a mind reader. Nobody is. We all have done it, but we all can, what I would say, kind of divest. Yes, divest from that, because it's not serving any purpose. The best communication for me is to ask a question. And if you can't ask a question, assume grace and mercy. I think that's great. Yes. Assume grace and mercy. Give the person some grace and some mercy if you can't talk to them.
Yeah, because obviously something's bad. I must say, when I was younger, I used to get frustrated in traffic.
Yes.
And I'd be hollering and everything else, And finally I realized, I can holler all day, but the traffic's going to be what the traffic is. And as soon as I just realized that, I started listening to nice music and whatever, and I just totally chilled out. I still sometimes come out with a comment, on somebody's driving skills, but I used to be just awful.
Wow.
And until I realized that, I'm 99% the source of my own pain.
Isn't that something?
It is.
Say that again.
It's a realization. I literally say to myself sometimes, I'm 99% the source of my own pain because it's not what's happening, it's what I'm telling myself about what's happening.
That
And
is so true.
Yeah, your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy, so you may as well tell it a good story.
I love that. And you know what? That's what we say about in cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yes.
That's what we say is that we are the source of our own pain. But I like that you gave it 99%.
99%.
99% because we are. And the things that we accuse people of doing to us, we are actually doing ourselves.
We're doing it, yeah. They're on with their lives, and we think we're going to hold a grudge and everything. That's like holding a hot coal.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting hurt but you.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Unforgiveness, that's where that is as well.
Yeah.
Marsha, I didn't know we can have a talk about psychology. Okay, now.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I'm going to read your bio. So,
Okay.
Marsha Green is a 33-year member of the American Business Women's Association, ABWA, North Oaks Charter Chapter, which meets at the Novi Library on the second Wednesday of each month. Novi Oaks raises scholarships for women and education funds for its members, and I would love for you to talk more about that as we get into this conversation. Marsha is the current chapter president and manages her chapter's website. She was chosen as the national top 10 of ABWA in 2016 and served as a member of the ABWA National Board of Directors from 2017 to 2018. ABWA National is celebrating its 75th anniversary on September the 22nd. That's amazing. And you've been a member for 33 years of it.
Yes.
Wow. Marsha has worked in many jobs over the years, but she retired from the automotive industry as a human resources professional and is a former Dale Carnegie instructor. She earned her Bachelor of Business Administration degree at Wash College and her Master of Arts in Organizational Management degree at the University of Phoenix. Marsha also worked for 7 years as a volunteer with Warm Hearts, an organization that helps disadvantaged mothers in the Wayne Westland area. So welcome, Marsha. We've been in great discussion already.
Yeah.
So tell us more about ABWA. We did hear that you got involved through your aunt, and your aunt started the chapter
The
here.
Novi Oaks chapter, yeah.
Wow.
She did. Yeah, she had been a member, when she passed in 2017, she had been a member 50 years.
50, wow, okay.
Right, yeah. And there are two women that I know in ABWA. They've been members 64 years. They went to high school together, and they were in their early 20s when they joined. They're both like in their mid 80s, still active in ABWA.
Okay, and are they in our chapter?
No, they're from California.
Okay.
So yeah, but
well, tell us the mission of ABWA.
the mission of it, and let me see if I know this by heart. I've been saying it for 33 years. The mission of the American Business Women's Association is to bring together women of diverse occupations to help themselves and others grow personally and professionally through leadership, education, networking support, and national recognition.
Yes. So if you have any questions for us, you want to learn more about ABWA, please call 313-355-6018. You are watching Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool Tv, the coolest station in the world. So, Marsha, in his mission is to really promote women throughout and professionally and educationally.
Yes.
And what are some of the things that it does to do that, ABWA?
Well, at our monthly meetings, we generally every month we'll have an informational speaker like Regina. That's how we met her. Last month we had one on resolving team conflict, for the conflict averse leader. Next month it's actually going to be a program all about the benefits of ABWA, and it will be available in person but also on Zoom.
Okay, so it's a hybrid.
Right. So
Great.
if people want to Zoom in, it will be our National Secretary Treasurer, Janice Hall, who will be making the presentation for us. And she's a wonderful lady, I think from South Carolina. And we also have available, if you're a member, you have access to online training. And on our website is www.novi-abwa.org. And on our scholarships and education page, you can click and you'll see the curriculum that's available, all the courses that are available to members. And if someone worked at it, they could take enough courses through ABWA's membership online training. They call it the Apex Campus, which means achieving personal excellence. So they call it Apex. If you took all of those courses available about Six Sigma, you would be ready to get your certification for Six Sigma, which is something that manufacturers look for. It's how to become more efficient in the processes. They also have classes on lean manufacturing, how to manage your email systems on Google and Outlook, how to have a better resume, prepare yourself for interviews. The training, I don't even know how many courses they have, but if you were to take all of those courses online, it would cost like $3,000. But through ABWA, you can take it one course at a time for $25 or $40 or whatever.
And sometimes free.
Yes, sometimes free.
Yes,
Every
sometimes
month
free.
they'll have a free course.
Okay, yes,
Yes.
yes.
So it really is a good opportunity. And you meet other women who are working. You can work in any field. You don't have to own it. A lot of people think, oh, I have to own a business. You do not.
Yes.
So if you come to the meetings, you'll meet other women in business. Some of them own their own businesses, but many of them, I always worked for an employer. The support is amazing, and you learn from meeting other people, and maybe someone else is trying to start the same kind of business that you did, and you can help each other. It's just a wonderful network of women who support each other.
Yeah, and which is really beautiful because oftentimes you hear they call women so catty and, we can have conflict with one another. What are some of the... You name some of the beauties of it, and you can even tell us more, but what are some of the challenges you have found in being part of ABWA?
Part of the frustration on my part is that women don't have the confidence, like if we say, okay, we're looking for people to run for the board. We have 4 positions on our chapter board: president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. And so many of the women in the room will say, oh, they're not talking to me.
Oh,
I couldn't do that. But you can. And what a better way to do something like that than to be in a group of women who are going to support you in that process.
See, that's the thing,
Yes.
knowing that you have the support, and you're so right, because I know you have been president before.
Many times. 33 years. Yeah.
Okay. And you have felt supported throughout. Yes. Yes.
And I gained experience working with ABWA. And we have an annual fundraiser every year that we raise money for scholarships for women. We offer scholarships for women. I want to say that first. Right now,
please.
we have available 2 $2,000 scholarships for a Michigan resident female U.S. citizen, as long as you have a B average or above, and you can be attending any college or university in anywhere. Doesn't have to be in Michigan, and we're offering that. And believe it or not, we're having a hard time getting applicants.
Yes, and I did let my friend know, so I need to call her up because I gave her the national information, and I said I need to give her the Michigan information as well.
Yes, we offer scholarships, and if you go to our website, www.novi-abwa.org, go to the scholarships page. You can download the guidelines. The deadline to submit all the information is May 1st.
Oh, is it May 1st? I thought it was May 15th.
Now it's May 1st. And so you have basically 5 weeks to get that information in. And we also offer the Betty Archer Johnson Scholarship, named after our founder. That's at Madonna University. So students of Madonna University can apply for that $1,000 scholarship.
That's wonderful.
It is.
That is awesome. So give that website again.
It's www.novi-abwa.org. novi-abwa.org.
Yes.
And you can also, that's where you can register for any of our meetings at the events page.
And you
on
don't
that.
have to be a member.
No, yeah, you don't have to remember. You can check us out. There may be something that you're interested in. We meet in person, and when we meet in person, you have a choice. $22 will include dinner, or $10 no dinner. And there is no charge to attend the Zoom.
Right, there is no charge to attend the Zoom. So it
Yes.
is hybrid. All of our meetings
Yep.
are hybrid. And how long do they go for?
We start at, the in-person part starts at 6 o'clock with dinner, networking. The Zoom part starts at 6:30. We try to be done by 8.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so the maximum it would be in person would be 2 hours.
Yeah, and you know, it's really sad because there are a lot of young women and women that are in school, and it is for undergrad as well as
Graduate, yes. High school seniors can apply for our scholarships.
Yes.
Yes, and if you receive one of the scholarships, it includes a student membership in ABWA.
Okay.
So to be a member, it's only $50 for students, and it's $115 for which is a fabulous deal.
It really is.
Yes.
And the benefits, the training you get online, as well as if you attend conferences, and I think you have to be a member at least a year or so before any of those kick in, where you may be able to get some of your monies back once you
Right.
attend. Yeah, so
Novi Oaks, we reimburse our members for attending the conferences.
I think that is so powerful.
It
I
does.
mean, I was like, what?
Yeah, and for the local chapter dues, it's $24 a year starting August 1st. But if you are a new member, you're paying half of the amount as a regular member would pay for the first year.
Yes, I did. I
Yes.
paid half the amount. And because I was like, what is this? And she was like, that's for our chapter dues.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I'm glad you reminded me because I got to pay I paid the national, but I joined in March, so I need to do my chapter now.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the ABW, when I say due August 1st, that's the beginning of the new ABWA year. So like...
Oh, so it's August when I'll do it.
August
Okay, good.
1st, yes.
That's good. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, because then we change the hands of officers.
also
Yes, that's
takes
right.
place August 1st, yeah.
Oh,
so-
okay, so that makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense. I don't know why I thought national and that was together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 2 special events we have coming.
Yes, May 8th, right?
May 8th, which
Yes.
is a Wednesday night, we are doing a ladies' night out at the Clothing Cove in Milford. And if you've never been there, you're really missing something because it's fabulous. But we're doing a fashion show. We're only asking a minimum $5 donation to attend, and everything that we raise will be given to the Haven Domestic Violence Center.
That's wonderful.
Yes. So, and they're going to have a representative there that day to talk to us about the Haven. But that's just a fun night out. I mean, they do a fashion show. There's a 10% discount for anybody who attends. And the first door prize is a $100 gift card for the Clothing Cove. So,
Okay.
Yeah. And the Clothing Cove, they pay for the half of the cost of that gift card, and we pay the other half.
Now tell us more about the Clothing Cove.
Clothing Cove is
And
women's...
that's COVE, right?
Yes.
Cove, okay.
Yeah, Cove, yeah.
Okay.
They are in downtown Milford, which is a cute little town on its own, but they will wait on you hand and foot. And especially if you're going to a prom, you're going to be mother of the bride or mother of the groom or something like that, they wait on you hand and foot, and they have everything from jewelry to the shoes to the Spanx to the, you name it, they have it, and beautiful dresses, and they wait on you hand and foot. It's wonderful. I got my wedding dress there.
Really?
14 years
Okay.
ago. Yeah, Bill and I got married 14 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is not like a resale shop or anything?
No.
Okay.
This is all brand new clothing at all price ranges. They
That's
have
awesome.
expensive gowns with beautiful glitter and everything on them. They are gorgeous, or they have capris and tank tops.
Okay.
So it's wide range, and the jewelry is the same way. They have Brighton jewelry and Brighton bags, or they have $5 little bracelets.
Okay.
It's just a cool place to go visit.
Now, so this is ladies' night out. And how did you guys build a relationship with?
Well, I had met the Clothing Cove folks. My Aunt Betty and my mom and
Okay.
and my other Aunt Annie. They used to go to a fundraiser for the Michigan Bell Pioneers, which were the retirees, and the Clothing Cove was doing the fashion show, and they had brought in all their jewelry and everything. Well, I knew they did the fashion show, so I just contacted the store, and she said it's actually better for them if they do it in the store, because then they don't have to move all the stuff around, you know.
Oh, that's great.
And they are so supportive. They're wonderful, and they actually provide a cake for us and flavored water and all that stuff, and they work with us, and this will be the 4th time we've done it.
Okay, so it's been successful each time.
Yes, it's a lovely location.
Yeah, so that's May 8th, and then what's the next
The
event?
biggest event of the year is to raise our scholarship money, and that is our autumn brunch with auction. This year it's going to be on Saturday, October 19th at the Burton Manor in Livonia. And year before last, we raised $13,000,
Which was powerful.
Yeah, and last year $12,600.
Wow.
All of the items are they're new or they're collectible. And last year we had a little too many. We're going to cut it back. Last year we had 279 items.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a little bit much. The people couldn't get around it, they couldn't get around it a bit enough. But the average price that people pay for things is like 75% of the retail value. So
Yes.
you get good deals, and
You
you're
do.
helping people for scholarships.
Because I wasn't able to make this one, but the year before last,
Yeah.
I did, and I worked it, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to wait to the last minute on a couple of my bids, but people were doing the same thing I was doing.
I know, you have to babysit those bids.
You really do. And I was like, I can't believe that lady just came up behind me right when it was about to close. She had it timed.
Oh, man.
I was like, she must have been here before.
She had a strategy.
She had a strategy. It was so good. So I would encourage, if you want to find out more about ABWA, please contact Marcia. Okay,
Yes,
go ahead.
you can contact Marcia Green. It's Marcia. Looks like Marcia Green. Yes, at mgreenabwa@gmail.com, and you can send me that, and that's on our website as well.
Yes, and I will make sure that Marcia, please go on my page,
Yes.
my Facebook page, and post your information.
Okay.
And so if anybody wants to learn more about ABWA, it has been a great experience for me. I made an assumption, and I can tell you that whenever I show up, the women are happy to see me. It's not like I get this judgment attitude or anything.
Like, where have you been?
Right? No, not that at all. I'm welcomed every time. When I speak, I'm welcome. And Marcia keeps me up to date with things that are going on, and things that I can participate in. So I'm not treated like a less member because I'm not able to attend the way I would like to.
Well, and people know you're doing your podcast.
Yes.
We admire that a
Well,
lot.
thank you. And I'm glad you were
Yeah.
able to come today. So tell us, Marcia, is there anything that you would like to leave us with? I know we started a little late, so I apologize.
No, that's okay.
But if there's anything that you would like to share with us about ABWA, besides it being a great organization.
Well, I just want to say, when I graduated from Walsh College, first of all, I graduated from Walsh College in 1986, and that was 14 years after I graduated from high school.
Okay.
So don't worry about you haven't gone straight through college or anything like that. I just chipped away at that, and somebody encouraged me to do that. It took me 14 years to get my bachelor's
Wow,
degree.
okay.
And then, for my good fortune, my employer had a tuition reimbursement program when I was much older, and 14 years later is when I got my master's degree, because they helped me get that. So if you're intending to go to college, don't worry about you didn't do it all of a sudden. Actually, when I was older, I understood things so much better. It made it easier for me. But when I graduated, we had a speaker called Rick Inatome, and he was at that time the CEO of Intercom Computers, which was like a huge leader in computers at that time in the world in 1986.
Okay.
And he said, people talk about doors of opportunity, and when they open, he said, it's more like a window, and the window opens, but sometimes it closes. So when that window opens, and now you've heard about ABWA, it's an opportunity.
Yeah, I love how you put that together. It is an opportunity.
It's an opportunity. Don't let it fly by. Really look into it. Take care of yourself. My involvement in the Warm Hearts organization, where
Yes.
they do baby showers for disadvantaged moms, and that organization is coming to an end, but it's somebody else is taking over the
Okay.
showers for the moms down in Wayne and Westland. It was wonderful to be in that room and speaking to the moms, because when I was a young woman, I was 19 when my son was born,
Okay.
and I could have used that kind of help. And so I get the opportunity to speak to those young ladies, and I always say to them, you're worried about your child, but make sure you take care of yourself.
I love that, Marcia. And we just want to
Yes.
thank you for coming on to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. And you have watched live, let me say that, because we are about to close out Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. And we stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Thank you, Marsha, for being our guest.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.